You're listening to That's Pretty Dark,
the podcast where we talk about all the entertainment that scared us as children
and still haunts us as adults. So grab your flashlight and join us as we take a frightfully nostalgic look over our shoulders.
And under our beds.
And in our closets.
And together, we'll realize, whoa, that's pretty dark.
Y'all ready for this?
We open the Zoom call, and those are the first words out of Christian's mouth. And I don't know how that makes me feel, honestly.
Y'all ready for this?
I can't tell if that's him trying to hype himself up into something. I don't know where we are. I don't know where we live today.
This is just the energy I have to bring to it. Because this movie, that is about how serious we have to take the content. And honestly, that's a relief.
It is a relief. I agree.
You know, there's no heavy commentary. There's no big points we have to make. We don't have to get too political about anything.
We don't have to.
We don't have to. I probably will a little bit, but it's nice to know that we can just sort of sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
That's what all of you guys are wanting right now, isn't it, Darklings? You need just a breather in the middle of your October. I know I do. Well, you've come to the right place.
Absolutely, you have.
What place have they come to, Christian?
You made it all the way to That's Pretty Dark podcast, Kaylin. And we're over halfway through our October, aren't we? We're over the hill.
Actually, this will put us over the hill. Today's session.
Over the cemetery hill. We are on the decline toward the grave. It's coming for us fast.
Cresting the hill. The sun is setting. The twilight surrounds us. The screams of those gone on before.
The screams of the undead coming back to life. Here, check this out. Look at this.
Whoa.
Speaking of the dead, Dear Dead
The Darklings
Days.
cannot see it, but he's holding up Dear Dead Days, the Charles Addams book.
The two books that I ordered about the Addams Family. The Evolution.
Yeah, the Evolution.
I suppose the Dear Dead Days. And my God, these books are
beautiful.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
I wish I'd had both of them before doing part one because I learned so many more things.
Well, guess what? Luckily, there's a whole part two right in front of you.
Well, I get to point out all the references to the movie, which is really where, the good stuff is. That's where that's the center of the beehive where all that good honey is right there.
If you say so.
You got to reach in real deep,
Real deep in the honey.
We've all done that. Just reach straight into the beehive to get the honey. No?
Not me.
It's kind of like how you reach directly into the grave, into the coffin to get the goods.
So when you're grave robbing, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, of course. What am I thinking?
Yeah, why do you even need that
qualifier?
Context?
Wow.
What else would I be doing at a grave? Digging into a grave. But yeah, no, this Dear Dead Days thing is super cool because it's obviously not a photo, like a family album. Obviously, it says family album. That's more of a pun. And it has very little to do with the Addams Family, but he branded almost everything he did using the Addams Family. Even his other collections of comics, they were always featured, but...
I mean, it was his premier IP. It was the thing that put him on the map, literally.
It's true.
It's his name.
But the whole thing plays like it's a Charles Addams Family album, and he writes little commentary as though these are his family members and how he grew up.
Aww.
And it's just ridiculous because it's the bearded lady.
Yeah.
And his other stuff, his pictures of people. These two boys are pointing at a dead cat in the street, and he's like, "Yep, just hanging out." It's not. These aren't.
It's just an expansion of his universe. They are him. That's the thing.
That's the thing. He considers.
They are.
He called the family, his children. He even actually toyed around with calling them his evils at one point, but that didn't stick. What stuck was the Addams Family.
He's no Ivan Ooze, I suppose.
Nobody really is, though, if you think about it.
I don't want to think about it.
So let's get started. What say you? Let's jump into this movie. That's what we're doing here for this part two of our Addams Family coverage. That is the 1991, the Addams Family film. And boy, this has been, as you called it earlier, a romp.
A romp with gait.
Tully, romping with gait.
It is a true romp. And it's been a minute since I feel like we had a true romp. We've been pretty deep in, like you said, the emotions, the politics, etc. And today we just get to have fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I feel like I did a lot of that this year, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to myself. I'm sorry to everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to my family.
No, I feel the same.
How did we get so serious about Power Rangers? I don't even know what happened. But, sometimes these things, they just got to be done. You guys know what you're in for, and I hope that we do too.
Always debatable.
So speaking of these here Addams Family cartoons, every time that I say the cartoons in this episode, I'm talking about his drawings, the Charles Addams drawings.
Yeah.
Not to be mistaken for any of the animated cartoons that came out at any point in time. And if I say the original series or the TV show, I'm talking about the 1960s TV show.
It's a good distinction because for 90s kids, that can get really blurry.
I also really kept wanting to call them comics. And I technically could have, but
yeah,
that's a line I drew for myself for God knows what reason. And now I have to stick to it.
It might have made it easier. Yeah, it might have made it easier for the rest of us if you hadn't.
What I should have said is, they're not comics, but we're going to call them comics.
Yeah. You're in charge, Christian.
I know.
You make these rules.
You
don't have to suffer.
These rules are not made up, and these points do matter. This is the one instance where that's true.
Darklings, if you take one thing away from us today, you are the arbiter of your life. You're in control. You have autonomy and agency. And if something's hard, you have the license to make it easier.
Is that true?
Yes.
Wow.
I've just now decided it recently.
Learn something new every day.
It's a recent declaration.
I appreciate that. Revelations, philosophies.
Ooh, revelations.
All about that. Revelations.
Love me some revelations. Philosophies too, but soft spot for the revelations lately.
So not only are references to Charles Addams' original cartoons peppered throughout this film, but it's also perfectly bookended by such references as well. Last episode, you, Kaylin, read a description of Lurch's character for the TV show, revealing that although he's a source of humor for the family, he's still always willing to pour the boiling oil on the carolers. That detail is in reference to probably the most famous and honestly most impressive Addams Family cartoon, which is called Boiling Oil, and depicts almost exactly what we see in this movie's opening scene. A group of Christmas carolers singing outside the mansion's front door, with the Addamses high above on the tower roof, waiting with a cauldron of some steaming liquid.
Some steaming opening credits.
Lurch tips the cauldron over, and we are left to assume that the carolers are scorched into a swift trip to the hospital. And this may be the earliest That's Pretty Dark we've ever said in any episode we've ever done.
Yeah, I should have gotten out of your way on that intro.
To his credit, though, Addams was hesitant to print this one. I read somewhere that it was some other writer's idea, which happened a lot. He got a lot of ideas from the writers that worked at the New Yorker, and he brought this, cartoon to life. And he was like, "Are you guys sure about this?"
Yeah, that is pretty dark, as you said.
Luckily, they were, and it was printed in the New Yorker on December 21st, the winter solstice of 1946. The thing about the Addams Family is they were known to celebrate Christmas with just as much gusto as Halloween. In fact, he drew them celebrating Christmas on a number of occasions, even if that meant, lighting a blazing fire and fanning the flames up the chimney for Santa's arrival. And this is honestly probably where Tim Burton's blending of Halloween and Christmas came from, because he was always obsessed with the Addams Family.
I would believe that.
They lived a Halloween lifestyle, but they loved Christmas. And it's funny because the only truly Halloween-themed cartoon that I know of that he drew fits in real nice with our discussion on Arnold's Halloween, because this cartoon was called Alien Invasion on Halloween. And it shows UFOs and aliens infiltrating a neighborhood. There's one alien on a woman's front porch, and she says, "I'm sorry, Sonny, we've run out of candy."
How's that for serendipity?
I know it.
You really buried the lead on this being a Christmas movie, though. I wasn't prepared.
My heart actually skipped a beat, like a few beats, really, when I thought, oh no, did I forget that this is a Christmas movie? But
we've all done it, right?
You say it is, and I say it's not. I say that that's just how it begins with, a reference to the cartoons.
I'm not a purist. I don't think that a movie is a Christmas movie simply because Christmas is celebrated.
If that's true, then you could also call it a Halloween movie because it begins there and it ends on Halloween.
Yeah. Just because Christmas is there doesn't mean Christmas is the focus.
Right. I mean, the film story takes place through winter and into early spring, followed by a quick spring forward to Halloween night. So while this movie is suitable year-round, I find it's best enjoyed amongst the holidays, and especially during spooky season. So if you ask me, this movie begins on the winter solstice, and not just because that's when the Boiling Oil cartoon was printed. We'll actually learn a lot more about winter solstice folklore if and when we finally do an episode on Christmas history. But suffice it to say for now, If you're not going to hold your annual seance on Samhain, then the next best night is that of the winter solstice.
Mm-hmm. I was actually going to say that because I was thinking about all of our winter solstice bonfires at your house.
Yeah. I have a small obsession with the winter solstice.
You and I have celebrated some holidays over the years.
It's a good
Primarily, for whatever reason, we found ourselves together on New Year's Day and the winter solstice.
Yeah, always. Yeah, the New Year's Day thing was always like a big day for creating. We were just so like pumped.
We were like, whatever you do on New Year's Day, that's what you're doing the rest of the year. So we got to get together and work.
Speaking of philosophies and revelations, that is a philosophy of mine. Like for years and years, I didn't go party on New Year's. Like, I still don't do that, but I didn't necessarily try to be social on New Year's Eve because for me, it wasn't a social holiday. It was more about reflection and projection into the future of what do I want the new year to find me doing? Mm-hmm. You might even hold a seance. But speaking of that, let's all hold hands and close our eyes and prepare for the return of a lost soul, Fester Addams.
Here he comes.
Gone these last 25 years.
Oh, Lord, he coming.
And why 25 years? Because 25 years before 1991 was 1966, which is the year the TV show ended.
Aw, that's a really good callback.
And I don't know if it ended with Fester leaving to travel the world or anything. I haven't seen the finale, but, infer what you will. But when the film properly begins, it's morning in the Addams family mansion. Nobody knows it, but Gomez, in his formal dressing gown, full of sentiment and lamentation, stands in the doorway of Fester's old bedroom, which resembles that of a mad scientist's with dust and cobwebs covering every visible surface. Thing emerges from behind the chiming cuckoo clock that's designed after their mansion, which is likely in reference to the original cartoon Wednesday having a dollhouse that looks just like the mansion. This clock features figurines of the Addams family emerging and performing in action with each chime. Gomez leans forward to kiss Morticia's bust. Pugsley pulls on a rope, which lifts Wednesday up by a noose. Lurch sweeps the front stoop, and from what I can tell, Granny stirs a smoking cauldron in the attic.
Having a grand old time at the Addams residence.
I was going to say, it sounds like Geppetto's just having a really bad week. Well, Thing stretches his phalanges and joins Gomez at Fester's door.
Think of it, Thing. For 25 years, we've attempted to contact Fester in the great beyond, and for 25 years, nothing.
But I do love how Thing follows Gomez around the house like a pet. It reminds me of Atlas.
Yeah, just tugging on his pants leg.
Constantly just follows me around the house. He's in the office right now.
Hey, buddy.
Somewhere.
Hey, Atlas, do you miss me?
He didn't say anything.
What'd he say?
He didn't say anything.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess I should, I don't know. Maybe I'll send a card or a fruit basket.
Yeah, you can send an Addams Family holiday card or something for him.
A Thing card.
Yeah.
We were thinking of you. I was thinking of you fondly. Thinking of you.
Oh, nice.
It took me too long.
Wednesday and Pugsley are in Pugsley's room playing William Tell.
Don't be a baby. I know what I'm doing.
And only the Addams kids could play a more dangerous version of this game than already exists. The apple isn't on top of Pugsley's head, it's in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Pugsley's room very much resembles the cartoons, with all the warning signs lining his walls that he's stolen from their various placements, effectively making the world a more dangerous place. My favorites from the cartoons are like high voltage and bridge out, but also no diving, pool empty. And in the movie, the dangerous curve ahead sign is a reference to one of Fester's cartoons, where he waves a car around him on a curve with an oncoming 18-wheeler just out of sight.
Yeah.
My other two favorites here are caution, radiation area, and danger, canal submerged at high tide, keep out. Reminds me of a shiny red bicycle.
Good times, good memories.
Yeah, you know.
Look at her. I would die for her. I would kill for her.
Morticia is still asleep in bed, but when she wakes up to see Gomez, their dialogue here is pulled directly from a cartoon where they sit in their parlor, and he asks,
Unhappy, darling?
Oh, yes. Yes, completely.
But the thing that's always stuck out to me is how they lit her eyes more distinctly than the rest of her person.
Mm-hmm.
This was a lighting trick that was used to accentuate the dazzling eyes of Bela Lugosi in his role as Dracula. And it was meant to bring the audience's attention to his eyes, which would simulate hypnosis and hopefully have some kind of placebo effect on the audience. Hypnosis being one of Dracula's more frightening abilities.
Yeah. Many vampires.
And if we need any more reason than to simply reference one of horror cinema's greatest icons, the goal with Morticia was to accentuate the hypnotic effect her beauty has on Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
And I always kind of thought she resembled a vampire anyway.
For sure.
Especially considering the morning sun shines in through the window and she asks Gomez to close the blinds by speaking in French, of course.
Il me perce comme un poignard.
No, Tish. That's French.
Oui.
Ever since the 1960s TV show, Gomez is perpetually turned on by Morticia's use of foreign languages. And now, Morticia speaking French translates as a proposition for some rather aggressive morning sex.
Yeah.
Last night you were unhinged. You were like some desperate howling demon. You frightened me. Do it again.
Do it again. It's perfect. No notes.
Post-morning sex, Morticia has coffee on the terrace while Gomez hits golf balls at the neighbor's house, which belongs to Judge Womack, who hates the Addams family and who was also played by Paul Benedict.
There's always a neighbor.
Always a neighbor.
That hates you. You know? You're just trying to exist, and there's always a hateful neighbor out there somewhere.
It's funny because I've always hated all of my neighbors, and I also think they've always hated me. So at least the feeling's mutual.
I feel the same, and I have no reason to think that for sure, but I do. There's something about this, like the tone of it. It's 1991, and every 90s suburban movie feels like this.
It's true, yeah.
I don't know what it is exactly about the production design or the lighting or the colors or the, you know, the camera even.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but they all feel like this, and I want to live inside all of them.
Me too. I was just thinking that. Like, I want to bottle that. I want to capture
Early
it.
90s, yeah, that suburbia on film.
It kind of like, it begins with things like The Burbs, like really like they kind of set the tone for that, you know, suburban 80s, you know, American culture that bled into the 90s and just sort of like perfected whatever that was.
It's such a specific picture of the culture. I just keep wanting to say adjectives about just like the way that the way that the light is falling. I don't know, but yeah, it's so comfortable. It's so lived in. Hocus Pocus is that way. Halloween Town, Casper, like they all have that feeling, and it's not just the Halloween of it all.
No, not really.
It's palpable, the aesthetic of it.
And I think half of it is because we like know what happens in the past.
Yeah.
Like we know the world doesn't end.
Yeah. It's
you know?
it's why nostalgia is comfortable and comforting, because we already know what happens.
It's probably why we experience nostalgia. I wonder if any other animals do that, if they think back on something that happened. We should cut their heads open and examine their brains and see if they have the same memory juices. Do they have, is it memory juices? Is that it?
Yeah, the juices is where the memories are, for sure.
That's what they say. Memories are where the juice is. So
that's what I've always said.
Thing takes on the roles of both golf tee and golf caddy, and the next ball shatters the judge's window and lands in his breakfast cereal.
Damn you, Addams! Sorry about the window, Judge. Keep the ball. I have a whole bucket full.
This might be why I didn't watch the movie as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it basically kicks off with sex and a curse word.
Yeah, it's pretty inappropriate. Death, sex, and cursing. I mean,
yeah, those are the first three things we see.
You know what? It doesn't get more human than that.
I agree.
And the reason Gomez is hitting golf balls at his neighbor's house is because there's a cartoon where Fester hits golf balls at another golfer on the course. Morticia has always kept a garden of some kind, mostly poisonous plants, but ever since the TV show, she's also kept carnivorous plants, a tradition that this Morticia continues now in her conservatory. She snips the roses from their stems while Gomez continues obsessing over the absence of his brother. He's playing chess with Thing while not playing chess with Thing, and I love that Thing's just sitting there tapping his fingers like, come on, Gomez, your move.
Imagine, darling, if Fester did come back. Half alive, barely human, a rotting shell.
Don't tease.
Don't tease. She's just snipping the heads off those roses. It made me so sad. But I was like, perfectly good flower.
This movie does such a great job of playing up the morbid sensibilities, like in addition to the humor. Mm-hmm. It gets gruesome at times, and it's still hilarious. The 90s was good at that.
Yeah, very. There's this like balance that you have to strike in between the humor and the morbidity. Like you have to lean heavy into the humor or it will feel oppressive and probably kind of terrible, you know?
Yeah.
The more jokes you can make and the heavier you lean in, the funnier it becomes.
That's the thing. Oh my God.
If you just make a joke one-off every now and then about death, it's going to feel uncomfortable.
It could have very easily been a depressing movie. Mm-hmm. And like even the cartoons would have been a bummer if they weren't so cleverly, sharp.
Dark humor.
It saves all of us.
It saves us every day.
But Morticia's right. Gomez really should be careful what he wishes for because he just might not like how he gets it. And speaking of, they're about to have company. In watching this movie again, I can't help but feel like the Casper screenwriters really took a few pages out of this film's script.
It's all I could think.
For a lot of reasons, right.
Yeah.
But also because the sketchy arrival of Tully and Margaret Alford at the Addams Mansion feels a heck of a lot like the sketchy arrival of Kerrigan and Dibbs at Whipstaff Manor.
Almost identical. That's all I could think as I watched. I was like, did I accidentally turn on Casper? I know I didn't, but like, what?
There's so many one-to-one comparisons. Like, this is the same movie, right?
These are your last paying clients. May I remind you?
If it gives you pleasure.
Something has to. Like a decent coat, something dressy for evening.
They technically have every right to be there, and yet they come with nefarious intentions.
I'll get the money. I have a plan.
90s villains were all about getting rich quick, weren't they?
Well, yeah, what else are villains supposed to care about except the bottom line?
Yeah.
Domination and money.
Wait, villains or corporate CEOs? What do you...
What's the difference?
We always laugh at 80s villains because they're these rich assholes, paving paradise, putting up parking lots, yada, yada, yada. But it's harder to laugh at 90s villains. A lot of them, not all of them. But I feel like they're typically people who don't have money for one reason or another, and they're usually just desperate enough to act, which hits a little closer to home for a lot of us, I think.
There's deeper pathology.
Yeah. I mean, especially since most of our own personal 90s villain struggles are caused by the greedy 80s villains who accumulated all the wealth in the first place. Yeah.
Wow. I thought we weren't getting heavy and deep today. It's just reality. We can't avoid it for long.
When were we radicalized? Buddy. We were raised on this shit.
It's where I started.
This 90s cliche of an insufferable male-female duo is played by Dan Hedaya and Dana Ivey. And by the way, those are not words you should use to describe us. The 90s cliche of an insufferable male-female duo.
No, that's our next review. We're going to go check and that's... We did it to ourselves.
Have we not been punished enough?
This is all so humiliating. Why did I marry you?
Because I said yes.
These two arrive at the house, and we already know exactly who they are. Bickering, bumbling, brazen. Tully Alford, the Addams attorney, and his wife Margaret, who makes it clear through some rather obvious, unprompted exposition that they are hard up for cash. Mm-hmm. But not to worry, Margaret. Tully has a plan to con these old money aristocrats.
Look, darling, Tully is here.
Ah, Tully!
Romping with Gate.
Tully gets his coat sleeves snagged in the front gate, which, true to the TV show, has a mind of its own. Many things around the Addams Mansion do, including the bearskin rug in the hallway, which bites Tully's ankle as he stands there staring at the eerie portrait of a young Fester Addams holding a lit taper. Literally a lit taper, because the flame is blown out by a draft.
Take me there. I just want to hang out.
Honestly, though, it reminds me of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole sequence here.
Me too.
But it's Tully's fixation on Fester that sheds a dim, mysterious light on his plans. And after entering Gomez's office, which is rife with historical and exotic weaponry, Tully is forced to engage in a sword fight with Gomez.
Oh, Gomez.
One thing I've always struggled with is the categorization of Raul Julia's Gomez and how he fits into this family, because in many ways, he's the most human of them all, like the most mortal, kind of. Mm-hmm. If Granny is the witch and Morticia is the vampire and Lurch is the Frankenstein-esque ogre, then who is Gomez? It's taken me 30 years, but I think I've finally figured it out.
We are all ears.
This version of Gomez Addams embodies the essence of all things stereotypically romantic And I mean everything from our modern understanding of what it means to be a romantic at heart to Romanticism's historical origins within the Romantic era of time and art and literature.
I like where you're going.
Which was defined by things like prizing emotion, imagination, and individualism over the reason and logic and order that came from the Enlightenment.
It's where I live.
But it was also defined by a passion for history and exotic places. Its music was Beethoven and Chopin. Its writers were Lord Byron and Mary Shelley. It idealized passionate language and deep obsessions, but also big feelings about things like insults and duels and vendettas. And it gave rise to a much-needed Gothic revival that brought with it the spiritualist movement of the latter half of the 19th century, which of course was a time for seances and desperate attempts to communicate with the dead.
You're speaking my language.
So, if we want to say that Fester is the mad scientist and the children are the troublemaking trick-or-treaters, then being as stuck in the past as he is, perhaps Gomez represents the ghost.
I love it. Print it. Sign it.
I'm proud of myself.
I can tell.
Am I coming off as pompous?
Dirty pool, old man. I like it.
Winning the duel against Tully, Gomez is ready to begin the old business. Tully's master plan is to convince Gomez to open the Fester Addams Offshore Retirement Fund, which Tully will deposit under his name, for tax purposes. Gomez takes him at his word and agrees to the idea, but the only problem is this isn't old business, it's new business, and they can't discuss new business until next quarter. So Tully tries to literally kill him with a lunge of his sword, but his riposte is a tad rusty. Unfazed as always, Gomez leaves him to get the money for the monthly expenses, whatever those are. And the money is tucked away inside the Addams Family vault that's hidden behind the rotating bookshelves, which conceal the secret passageway. Now, any old mansion worth its salt has hidden doors and secret passageways, and you can still have these built into your home today, or simply buy a Murphy door to conceal a portion of your home. And I really want to do that.
Surprised you haven't already.
I don't know where I would do it necessarily. But this is also a nod to the Addams Family cartoon where Morticia has a handyman repair the hidden bookshelf door, which leads to a spiral staircase descending down into the darkness. Lurch lights the man's work with a candle, and Morticia says, "While you're here, there's a squeaky trapdoor I'd like you to look at." Just quaint little motifs.
It's perfect. Just all of these, all these little motifs, all these little conventions.
These little moments.
It's perfect.
And I love it because they use the same handyman to fit a massive window on one side of their house that overlooks the cemetery next door. Yeah. It's wonderful. They're all standing there like, oh, look at that.
It's like we said in part 1, finally, some folks that understand our sensibility.
Tully watches Gomez carefully, trying to discover the secret to entering the family vault. He moves close to the bookcase, listening to the sounds of Gomez fighting off Morticia's pet lion, Kitty, which we never actually see but is a fun reference. And the books on Gomez's shelf there are an odd collection. Alexander Hamilton, Courts of Europe, but none stand more out of place than Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I've actually been to her grave in Atlanta.
Whoa.
But this is for the bit, of course, because Tully tries to pull the book to see if it triggers the rotation of the bookshelves, and upon opening it, he's met with a giant gust of wind. It's very punny, but it's also very pagemaster.
I agree.
Because now we know that the books in the Addams Family library are much more than just literature. And isn't that just literature? It's more than just words on a page in a book.
You went so meta with that one, you lost me.
Pompous.
Yeah, watch yourself.
When Gomez returns moments later, he pays Tully in doubloons. Have we ever talked about doubloons before on the show?
Did we during the Goonies?
Maybe. We probably did, but...
I would imagine so.
I just want to reiterate that these were gold Spanish coins worth 2 escudos, which was another type of Spanish currency, and is also where the name comes from, doubloon being derived from the Latin word duplis, meaning double. They were minted from the 16th century to the mid-19th century, or the end of the Romantic era. And because they were widely used in the Americas by Spanish colonists, they played a significant role in developing the economy of American colonies.
This colony's economy is increasingly stalling, and honestly, that's why public policy seems to be calling me.
Is this Hamilton?
Oh, how'd you guess?
But it's just so fitting that they would have a shit ton of doubloons in their vault.
Foundational to the country.
I'm here to see Mrs. Addams about the charity auction.
So while the men discuss their business, Margaret meets with Morticia regarding a donation to the upcoming charity auction.
Charity auction? It's ridiculous.
So Morticia, Granny, and Lurch search for their golden finger trap from the court of Emperor Wu. And I know we haven't talked about these before.
No, I don't think so.
The term Chinese finger trap is a misnomer because it has nothing to do with Chinese culture or history of any kind.
I'm so glad you're telling me this because I've wondered ever since the days of Chuck E. Cheese.
Right? It was merely a gag toy sold in Austria, of all places, called the Machenfanger, or the girl catcher, aka the girlfriend trap.
Whoa.
It sounds much worse than it is, but the joke was that you would trick a girl you like into putting her finger into one end of it, this woven bamboo trap, and she'd be unable to pull away from you because the harder you pull, the tighter it gets. The toy was introduced to the US around the year 1900, which was when the term finger trap was coined by an American newspaper. And then in 1953, a company out of Ohio placed an ad in a local paper for their brand new toy, the Chinese finger trap. And that's just because the mysticism of Chinese culture played a very specific role in US culture. We just watched Gremlins. Mm-hmm. We know.
Yeah, I guess I'll allow
You go to Chinatown to find that.
Right.
Crazy, eclectic, perfect Christmas gift for your boy. And it's a finger trap.
It's also just the this is something you don't understand. This is from something outside of you, outside of your worldview.
How does it work?
Right. Put more distance between you and the thing automatically creates more intrigue between you and the thing. Well, maybe not automatically. Maybe not always. Maybe when it comes to product placement and marketing.
Most of the time.
Uncle Knick-Knack's winter wardrobe.
And while looking for the finger trap, they come across Uncle Knick-Knack's various wardrobes as well as Uncle Knick-Knack's corpse.
Uncle Knick-Knack.
And although Granny thinks they should keep the finger trap,
let's keep it.
Morticia says,
Hush, Mama. It's for charity. Widows and orphans. We need more of them.
Amazing.
Oh, it's just so perfect. And Morticia then invites Margaret and Tully to the seance that night because she's worried about Gomez. He won't eat, he can't sleep, and sure, he's coughing up blood, but not like he used to.
Not like he used to.
And here Margaret gets her fingers stuck in the trap, which is a running gag throughout the first half of this movie because nobody helps her out of it.
And any kid who's ever gotten a Chinese finger trap from Chuck E. Cheese understands.
So she's still stuck in the trap later when they arrive for the seance, and she's still wearing the same clothes. And then she's forced to wear it to the charity auction 2 days later, still wearing the same clothes.
Wild.
She looks haggard too. Her hair's all
messed
messed up.
I mean, wouldn't you?
How has she gone to the bathroom? But our takeaway here is that this is the typical effect the Addams family has on others. And this is why everyone hates them, including Tully, who ironically thinks Gomez is an idiot even though he can never manage to outsmart him. Well, Tully returns to his office in search of his assistant, Miss Bradbury.
Miss Bradbury!
Obviously a reference to Ray Bradbury.
Which is awesome.
Miss Bradbury!
She's gone home, Mr. Alford.
Oh, Mrs. Craven!
When he finds waiting for him a one Miss Craven, who is played by Elizabeth Wilson. We quickly gather that Tully has borrowed money from her and hasn't paid her back, so she introduces Tully to her creepy-ass looking son, Gordon, a brute of a specimen who pins Tully against the wall and is strong enough to flip him upside down by his neck. And throwing him onto his desk, Gordon knocks the briefcase of doubloons onto the floor, which leads to the concoction of a brand new scheme. Tully says there's much more where that comes from, only nobody can get to it. Nobody, except perhaps Gordon, who happens to look a heck of a lot like Gomez Addams' long-lost brother, Fester.
Easy Street, bum, bum, Easy Street, Addams is the key.
What is that?
It's from Annie.
Oh.
It's a miserable night.
I know, darling. Seance weather.
With the midnight hour close at hand,
Children,
it's nearly time for the seance. The weather is so ideal, the kids are holding up an antenna out in the rain, hoping to be struck by lightning. Tully and Margaret arrive, and after kindly being offered entrails, Lurch gets down to business on the organ. which is a reference to his harpsichord skills in the TV show.
Quite talented, this man.
Sort of a, jack of all trades.
A lurch of all trades.
It's a lurch of all trades. Morticia begins the rites, and despite being interrupted multiple times, nobody is perturbed. After all, nothing brings the family together like a good old-fashioned seance. Just like grandmother used to make.
Seances.
Somebody bring the entrails. Sign me up.
Y'all sick of us yet? You gotta be. This is your 3rd October episode.
But why do they sound so tired? Ultimately, Granny senses that Fester is near and demands that he knock 3 times, which he does.
He's at the door!
Thing runs down to the hall to answer the knocking at the door, and there stands Gordon in the rain, looking all festering, accompanied by Miss Craven, who introduces herself as Dr. Pinderschloss.
What a name.
I know. I don't even know where that came from. I just know it's trying to be like a Freud-esque kind of doctor,
Mm-hmm.
And much to Gordon's surprise, Gomez greets him warmly, hugging him, kissing him, and this is the first of many moments we can literally see the conflicting emotions oscillating across Gordon's face. From his perspective, these people are strangers, yet they're welcoming him into their home with a level of affection and admiration that his abusive, sociopathic mother, Miss Craven, has been entirely incapable of giving him for the last 25 years, quarter of a century, starving him of genuine human love and connection. And the further the movie progresses, the more impressive it is to witness this finessed, nuanced duality of Gordon's character, which is much to the credit of Christopher Lloyd as an actor, who managed to shift between conviction and dubiety with such subtlety that he seemed to convey both extremes at the same time.
It could only be Christopher Lloyd.
It could only be. This was sort of his MO as an actor, I feel like. He did this a lot.
Yeah.
And this is where I got sidetracked and started looking into the origins of words like duality and duplicity. And I was happy to learn that duplicity has the same Latin origin as doubloon.
You don't say.
Is it a coincidence?
That's uncanny.
As a doctor of the psychologies, I think not.
Get me another one. Get me another animal. That's all I can think of since you said Freud and Batty Yoda and Robin Williams. It all connects. We say it all the time, but it's just true.
In the parlor, the duplicitous Dr. Pinderschloss vaguely explains that Fester got lost in the Bermuda Triangle, where he was captured in fishing nets. And they've since run a series of vague tests that have proven without a doubt that he is indeed Fester Addams. Oh, and the reason he's come into her care is because she works for Human Services, and they take her at her word because, well, she's a doctor. So here's your semi-annual reminder that you can look up doctor's licenses and nursing licenses.
You can do a little research before you take
your medical care provider.
Yeah, medical advice or
legit.
Home placements of long lost brothers.
Yeah.
Just verify. That's all.
Anytime you welcome someone into your home, you should do a background check for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they claim to be your brother, it's never your brother.
Never.
You ever seen a soap opera? It's you.
From the future.
Here to kill you.
Nobody gets out of the Bermuda Triangle. Not even for a vacation. Everyone knows that.
And yet, Gomez and Morticia have apparently been there for their second honeymoon, as well as Devil's Island and the Black Hole of Calcutta, which are both real places with some pretty dark history on their own. And I'd expect nothing less from the Addamses.
Those are the kind of trips I would take if money and health were no object.
Hey, for these guys, money and health are no object.
Just let me see it. Yeah. Just let me see.
Let me see. Let me crawl into that Black Hole of Calcutta.
I don't want to go to the Bermuda Triangle, though. No thanks.
Yeah, but if you couldn't die, would you?
That changes everything.
We've talked about our childhood fear of the Bermuda Triangle on the show before.
Very often.
But I tried to look up why it was still such a popular locale in the 1990s, and apparently this is because of a continued fascination with it through the 80s, resulting in even more books and documentaries being released by the 90s that focused on the paranormal theories, more so than the actual scientific explanations.
It's fascinating, truly.
And honestly, I mean, the truth behind it was scarier than the actual, paranormal explanations. I mean, compasses don't work there. And the currents are so strong that if you wreck or your plane goes down, you're going to be carried hundreds if not thousands of miles off course from where you landed very swiftly. And that's why they can't find wreckages there.
It is, it's legitimately terrifying.
That's why you get lost there. It's a scary, scary place that nobody should ever go. And
we're making light of it, but it's not light, okay?
It was such a high
dark
traffic area for commerce across the Atlantic. And that's why so many people went missing there, is because it was such a high traffic area.
That's what I'm saying. Terrifying.
Wednesday adores the Bermuda Triangle. She studies it. Death at sea. She's hooked.
Ask me anything.
I did love, though, what this says about the relationship between Morticia and Wednesday.
I know.
She was so proud to brag on Wednesday's like Bermuda Triangle knowledge, and the way that she brought that up, I was like, something about this is so wholesome it hurts.
It is wholesome, see?
It's a mother like understanding her daughter and encouraging her interests, you know?
Mm-hmm. Totally,
Beautiful.
totally. And to speak to the relationship between Wednesday and Morticia, it's probably because of Wednesday's suspicions that Morticia is equally on the fence about Fester. She's willing enough to accept the story, but because she's been less emotionally attached to his absence, she's now able to observe him through a much more objective lens than Gomez is capable of. So to appease certain curiosities that she has, Morticia offers to help Fester unpack, calling attention to his crowbar, his dynamite, his cyanide, and he worries that she'll discover his violent intentions. But the truth is that these are things Fester would keep around anyhow.
Cyanide. Fester. As if we'd run out.
But his first night there, Gordon finds an old photo of Fester and Gomez being held in small cages at Camp Custer for preteen offenders, which is another reference to one of the original cartoons where Wednesday and Pugsley are returned home from camp in metal cages like they're animals returning home from the vet. Gordon also sees photos of the conjoined twins, Flora and Fauna, which is possibly in reference to a couple different two-headed characters in Annals from the cartoons, which Charles Addams drew because he was fascinated by conjoined twins and other physical anomalies and conditions that were often put on display as sideshow curiosities.
I was just going to say, the man loved a sideshow.
He really did. I mean, don't we all? Who wouldn't?
The underpaid performers inside them.
That is true, and that's unfortunate, and I feel bad for them, and I would fix it if I could.
You got really sincere for a second. Yeah, me too.
I want to go say, hey, take my money.
Right. You want to support them, not the system that is using them as fodder for a unforgiving and vitriolic public.
One of Charles Addams's favorite examples of conjoined twins was actually a trick photograph of a woman named Annabelle Gray, who had two heads. And the fact that she was, topless in the photo had nothing to do with his infatuation, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Well, like I said, it was a fake photograph of one woman, just leaned a little bit to the other.
Trick of the light.
Yeah. She didn't actually have two heads.
She probably had two of something else.
She had 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But the photos of Flora and Fauna imply that Fester was possibly in a relationship with these twins. And on the one hand, Gordon is confounded, and on the other, he's beginning to feel like Fester's life must have been a pretty damn good one.
Who's there?
That is, until he's tormented to sleep by Thing crawling up his leg like a spider who just wants to snuggle up with him and go to sleep.
Snuggly spider.
Screams in the night. It can only mean one thing.
He's home.
I think it's probably clear to most audiences by this point that, lo and behold, oh my, go tell it on the mountains, Gordon is Fester. The thing about Fester is that he was the one character in the original cartoons who spent time away from the family. Addams drew him amongst the public, at the movies, driving his car, etc., etc. This has translated over time into Fester being something of a world traveler. So him winding up in the Bermuda Triangle isn't the mystery here. As Wednesday points out, the mystery is that he escaped unscathed. Of course, we learn by the end that the price he paid for his escape was his own memory by way of amnesia. But if you ask me, the real mystery of this story is why Dr. Penderschloss didn't just tell the truth. Fester has amnesia. That would have solved all of their problems. Everything. Single thing.
God.
Like, she knows enough to talk about displacement theory, but not enough to talk about amnesia. Everyone knows about amnesia.
These aren't the brightest criminals you ever met.
You're right. I'm giving them too much credit.
And then what of the shenanigans? The tomfoolery?
What would we do without the tomfoolery?
That's what I'm saying.
Today I like to wander through the house, remembering.
No, sorry, old man. No wandering today. Today we're going straight to the vault.
The book that opens the secret passageway is the one titled Greed, which is fitting because it conceals the secret vault.
Greed!
This book was written by J.P. Addams, who in the Addams Family tree would be John Paul Addams, who was first mentioned in the Addams Family TV show, according to the Addams Family Wiki.
It was 7 bells on that fateful night in the North Atlantic. A fierce sou'wester was howling through the rigging as Admiral John Paul Addams drove his stout little frigate straight into the heart of the German flotilla, foaming up his stern at flank speed were Admiral Tojo and the Imperial fleet. It was then that Admiral Addams fired that shot heard round the world after uttering those inspired words. If you need me, I'll be in my cabin. They hanged him 200 years ago.
Man, if I had a nickel for every time I had an Admiral Tojo foaming up my stern at flank speed.
That's all I could think. I was like, there's something euphemistic about the words I'm saying.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
In this ridiculous accent.
This description of his history here is seemingly a blending of historical images from both the American Revolution and World War II. So either, it never happened, or John Paul Addams is undead and fought in both wars, generations apart.
Seeming like the most plausible explanation.
I feel like we're children again. Hey, you're it!
Down the spiral staircase they go, and Gomez pulls on the correct lever, sending them shooting down a crazy carnival slide, landing at the dock of the subterranean canal where Gomez takes on the role of gondolier, turning on a gramophone and singing along to the Italian opera like he's the Phantom of the Opera. And once again, I can see the Casper screenwriter scribbling furious notes throughout this entire sequence. The vault combination is 2, 10, 11 for eyes, fingers, and toes. 11 toes is in reference to Wednesday having 6 toes on 1 foot, which was depicted in a cartoon where Gomez runs through the entire "this little piggy" gamut with her, then continues on with "and this little piggy ...
Pretty good.
Eyes, fingers, toes.
Eyes, fingers, toes. Yeah, as soon as he said that, I was like, okay, that's cute.
And much to Gordon's dismay, inside the vault is really just Casper's old baseball signed by Duke Snider.
What else would it be?
Checks, notes, wrong movie. It's their old secret hangout spot.
Yeah, that sounds more right.
Which is just Gomez's idea of true riches. Just like how Casper's idea of true riches was his old baseball signed by Duke Snider. Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny?
The parallels lately, they're
paralleling. Yes, right. Those lels are paired.
You said it.
This sanctum sanctorum is full of many antiquated things. A vintage slot machine, taxidermy bears, a spittoon, and the bed of nails that Fester slept on in the old TV show. The bed of nails isn't nearly as gothic as it's usually depicted in Western media.
Yeah.
Lying on a bed of nails is considered a mystical and spiritual practice that originated over 1,000 years ago in East Asia for the purpose of meditation and healing. Of course, it was commonly associated with asceticism or the abstinence from pleasure or comfort for the sake of spiritual growth, but it's also been repurposed in modern times for things like acupuncture mats.
Acupressure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
But how it got its American Gothic reputation was all thanks to carnival sideshows and vaudeville, which used the bed of nails as something of a magic trick to wow audiences. Because it looks like a very dangerous thing to come into contact with, especially if there are boards laying on top of you while you're laying on the bed of nails, and then cinder blocks are laying on top of those boards, and then those cinder blocks are smashed with a sledgehammer.
I'll nail that box to myself.
Yet,
and I'll smash it with the hammer.
Thanks to physics and the mere distribution of weight across the body, any old volunteer would walk away unharmed.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I've laid on a bed of nails before. I don't know if it was at like a Ripley's Believe It or Not situation.
I've been thinking so much about Ripley's museums.
I think about Ripley's Believe It or Not at least once a week.
I have 2 books.
I don't know why that is exactly.
I love Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Me too. I think maybe growing up, my parents would go to the Smoky Mountains and there was a Ripley's in Gatlinburg. And that was just like, we didn't even go that many times, but I have vivid memories of walking past it.
I think there's a Ripley's Museum in Destin.
That would make sense.
I can't remember. Maybe Panama City?
I've wanted to do an episode, honestly, because it just seems like the kind of thing we should talk about.
Yes, it was a huge part of my childhood.
Yeah, Me too.
Like, I love stuff
World
like that.
records, you know?
If these walls could speak, hey, old man, what?
It kind of gave me the shivers to like think about them boys being boys in their secret hiding place.
Yeah.
If these walls could speak, it's like, these are Addams's. What the hell did they do down there?
What are y'all? What's up?
What are the good old days for you guys?
Yeah.
Gomez tries to get Fester to remember the old times, but when referencing their old nicknames for each other, Gordon doesn't have a clue how to respond.
First, senior partner, junior spaceman.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the whole thing is absurd. But it makes me laugh out loud every time I watch it.
It was really funny.
And Gordon pulls the stopper from a brandy decanter, which triggers the rotation of yet another secret passage. The bar spins around, revealing the Hall of Riches to Fester. Did Gomez not realize this would happen? He says, go pour the brandy, and it's the brandy that makes the bar spin around. I mean...
Yeah, this should be something...
Maybe this was like another trick, to see if Fester remembered. Either way, Fester returns to the secret place, and they watch old video reels from the projector while smoking cigars and sipping brandy from excessively large snifters.
Festering in the secret place.
Fester sniftering in the secret place.
Showtime!
The first reel shows the two of them as boys wearing shark fins to the lake where other kids are swimming. There's one old cartoon of the Addams Family sitting around and watching old home videos from a projector reel. And there's another one where Wednesday helps attach a shark fin to Pugsley's back so he can scare some kids swimming in a creek. And speaking of those two kids, I love how they handled Wednesday and Pugsley in this movie.
Me too.
There's a whole mystery unfolding around them, and yet they're just upstairs chopping the heads off dolls and electrocuting each other in the electric chair.
Pugsley, sit in the chair. Why? So we can play a game. It's called, Is There a God?
But you know what they say, it's important to let kids be kids.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Let kids be kids. Gotta protect the childhood, Protect it with your life, because you can't get it back.
You can never get it back. As hard as you try. And we are trying hard.
Yeah, you can only get it back if you're us, and if you listen to That's Pretty Dark.
Ooh, nice plug.
For the thing people are already listening to.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, that's my specialty.
The next video that Gomez and Gordon watch is the debutante ball, where the two of them dance with Flora and Fauna, and it turns out that Fester is something of a charmer in their world. And Gomez was so jealous that he wooed both Flora and Fauna despite never loving them.
You were so dashing, you could have any woman you wanted, dead or alive. I was jealous.
Dead or alive? Who is he, Igor? That's a callback to last year.
Yeah, throw all the way back to the Monster Mash. Igor had game.
He did.
Children, what are you doing?
I'm going to electrocute him.
But we're late for the charity auction.
But, Mother...
Oh, all right.
In bringing the Chinese finger trap gag to a close, the Addams Family attends the charity auction, where bidding opens at $5,000.
Not good enough. 20,000!
Insulted, Gomez enters a bidding war with Morticia, turning each other on more and more with each counterbid to the point that they spend $50,000 on their own item and basically have sex in front of the entire room.
To Morticia Addams for $50,000. Oh.
Man, if you don't want somebody like that, is it even real? If you wouldn't spend 50 grand and eye each other at an auction.
If it's not Gomez and Morticia, I don't want it.
Right.
And on the car ride home, Gordon makes the fatal mistake of asking how to take the finger trap off. This is the final nail in the coffin for Gomez.
There's a trick to it.
Who goes home to simulate a train crash with his toy trains.
He wore that finger trap for 2 years. Mother had to teach him to eat with his...
Father's playing with his trains. And I love how this illustrates...
Mean what you think it means.
I love how this illustrates, again, how well this family knows each other, how well they click. They know each other's idiosyncrasies and habits, and they love each other despite and because of them. Because they're all naming each element of the train set and how angry
Dead
he
man's
is.
Curve.
Yeah, based on what he's doing.
But this whole thing has to be a reference to one of the old cartoons where Pugsley simulates a collision with a toy train and a toy car. And like I said last episode, Charles Addams lived a life of morbid curiosity, and he was fascinated by tragedy. This Dear Dead Days book is full of images like this. And like he collected pictures of tornado wreckage, train collisions, and car crashes, surgeries and autopsies, suicide inventions and torture devices, like all kinds of crazy stuff that he worked into his cartoons and used dark humor to spoon feed this to American audiences. It's insane.
I'm all about dark humor, but I don't love a crash of any kind.
I think most of us possess these same or similar macabre interests.
I mean, it's hard to look away. Like, it's hard to look away from
That's the
that
metaphor,
kind of thing.
right?
Yeah.
It's like a car crash. You can't look away.
Right. You can't look away.
While the whole house grows increasingly concerned over Gomez's obvious cry for help, Fester attempts to sneak into the vault on his own, but he pulls the wrong lever.
Wrong lever!
Resulting in him being caught in a booby trap that expels him from the house into the side yard, where Morticia is waiting to walk and talk with him through the Addams Family cemetery. God, I want to go there so bad. Give me the walk and talk, Morticia.
Yeah. Give me the walk and talk, Morticia.
She reads off the gravestones, reminding him of their family history.
Psychopaths, fiends, mad dog killers, roots Fester, pioneers, lest we forget.
Fester's pet vulture, Muerto, is a reference to the cartoons. They kept pet vultures in general, but Fester once released a vulture to attack the neighbor's homing pigeons.
No, Muerto. Don't do it. They have magnetoreception. Very cool birds. You don't understand. Stop.
We learned all about them, didn't we? Mother and Father Addams were killed by an angry mob, and their family credo is sic gorgiamus allos subjectados nunc.
We gladly feast on those who would subdue us. Not just pretty words.
Fester calls Miss Craven for help, and seeing how she's a fake psychiatrist, she comes to assuage the fears of the family.
Love, hate, hate, love. Like for Mama, no?
But I didn't hate my mother. It was an accident.
Gomez tells her that Fester is an impostor, an impostore. And so Dr. Pinderschloss talks him through displacement theory, explaining that it's the little black monster making Gomez suspicious.
Pugsley.
No, not Pugsley.
Guilt.
Guilt.
Never heard it described like that.
Yeah, I know.
I've heard the little green monster. Jealousy.
Her definition's actually pretty accurate. Or it would be if Gomez weren't totally correct in his suspicions. And outside the door, Fester overhears Gomez's tantrums and runs away until he finds the children in a duel, rehearsing a scene from Hamlet.
Smiling, damned villain. Who calls me a villain? Break my paper.
Saved my heart from the fate of Wednesday Addams.
When Fester doesn't find the bloodshed believable, he shows them how to really slaughter someone properly. In winning their favor, he also shows them a book on wounds, scars, and gouges. And because this impresses them further, he shows them how to properly blow something up using 3 parts dynamite with a nitroglycerin cap.
Nitroglycerin cap.
Perfect for small holes, carports, and tool sheds.
And I was like, Doc Brown, is that you under there?
And much to his mother's jealousy, he agrees to help them with their play by making their bloodshed oh so much more believable. His mother expects him to break into the vault while everyone is gone, but for the first time, Fester doesn't obey. It's true to canon that Fester is great with the kids, so it makes sense that all it would take is a day of playing with them to start feeling like his old self. But my God, this school play sequence is pure gold.
I love it.
From start to finish.
Everything at the school. We were talking about the Brady Bunch movie not long ago, and it has that ironic tone. Like, this family does not belong in polite society, but here they are anyway. Like, right. And how they interact with all of these normal conventions of just like an elementary school. It's really good.
Oh man, it's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Me too.
First of all, Wednesday's teacher speaks with Morticia about her concern for Wednesday, which is a reference to a cartoon where Gomez reads a letter sent home by Pugsley's teacher. For a My Hero project at school, Wednesday has chosen her great aunt Calpurnia, who was burned as a witch in 1706 after dancing naked in the town square and enslaving a minister.
Amazing. This aged really well.
It really
I have
did.
to say.
But Morticia assures her that Wednesday will go to college first.
Don't worry. We've told Wednesday, college first.
But then there's the variety show itself. Moving from the quaint group of kids singing Getting to Know You to Wednesday and Pugsley cutting each other open with their swords and shedding the most excessive amount of blood imaginable.
This is where the substance got the idea. Gotta be.
Totally covering the first few rows in fake blood while Wednesday, chokes to death on stage, making the worst sound she could possibly make.
Save my heart from the fatal.
It's just too good. It's so good.
Wednesday and Pugsy.
And it's all thanks to Fester, who decided to show up instead of helping his stupid mother.
Because he likes these kids. And they see him and acknowledge him like a person.
Right.
Because that's all we're all looking for. That's all any of us are ever looking for.
That's all we need. Yeah.
Out here in this big, big wide world.
Shouldn't be that hard to find. And yet. At breakfast, Gomez reveals their plans to throw a party in honor of Fester, which is yet again something that his mother never once did for him, let alone a party of this magnitude. This ballroom is tops.
I love it.
God, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
A party for me? Here.
This is the kind of home and family he's always wanted, like we were just saying. He just never knew how awful Miss Craven was until he had something to compare it to.
Hey.
Which is a revelation I'm sure many of us have experienced.
A revelation.
On some level.
Constant revelation. You can't know what you don't know.
That's right.
Until you know it.
Not just pretty words.
Contrast is important. Expansion. Learning. Curiosity.
Tish.
Morbid curiosity.
How long has it been since we've waltzed?
Oh, Gomez. Hours.
And so arrives the entire Addams Family clan of outcasts and misfits, waltzing and feasting in celebration of Fester. Gomez introduces Tully to Flora and Fauna, who tell him that Fester is the elder brother, therefore the entire Addams Family fortune belongs to him. And Cousin It arrives on the scene and keeps Margaret company, while Tully marches over to Judge Womack's house to get him involved in his brand new scheme to get rid of the Addams family once and for all.
Something's gotta stick, right?
Wednesday waltzes with Lumpy Addams, who is a very tall hunchback of a boy, and I wonder if they knew they were referencing a pop culture phenomenon that wouldn't be fully realized until the release of Wednesday in 2022, the Evolution of Dance Wednesday edition.
The Wednesday waltz. Sweet oblivion, open your arms.
And Morticia sends her up to collect Fester.
I will try and reach the vault tonight. Okay, Mother?
I knew it. You are a fake.
Come here, my little Van.
They try to stop her, of course, but she escapes through one of those famous Addams Mansion trapdoors. And so, pretending like everything is normal, Fester goes to the party, where they dance the mamushka, which means mother in Russian. And a trivia fact about this dance scene is that it was supposed to last much longer than it does. And it did originally, but it bothered test audiences who all agreed that it lasted way too long. We're like, we like the movie, but
that dance scene though.
That weird mamushka scene, what was that about? So they were like, well, we can make it shorter, but we can't lose it. And at the end of the night, Flora and Fauna cover Fester in kisses before being put back into their straitjacket and returned to the Institute for the Criminally Insane. And Fester, aka Gordon, returns to his room, raving about the festivities to his mother, who pulls a full Mrs. Keene, pouting, guilting, and shaming Gordon into choosing her, once again, over the Addamses.
Mother, who is that? I don't think I recall. Please, return to your depraved orgy.
And this is about the time that the Addams family realizes that Wednesday is missing. And so they spread out to search the grounds for her, and although Gomez finds her asleep in the Addams family mausoleum, Tully has already locked the front gate with police tape and no trespassing signs. Because with the help of Judge Womack, Tully has fast-tracked a restraining order against them.
Ugh.
And as the family lawyer, it's his job to inform the rest of the family that they are no longer welcome here, per Fester's request.
I demand to speak with Fester. Sorry, no can do. He's very hurt. Just leave.
So now the Addamses are forced to live in a motel, which is some crazy juxtaposition after seeing how they've lived before. I always found this part so strange because it was just it was weird to see them out of place. Yeah.
It's not where they belong.
Morticia gives a rousing motivational speech about the fable of the tortoise and the hare.
What does this story teach us?
Kill the hare. Skin it. Boil it. Put the tortoise on the highway. During rush hour.
Yes.
Remember, we gladly feast on those who would subdue us. In other words, they will all do their part to help get the family back on their feet. Except for Gomez, of course, who is depressed beyond measure.
Poor guy.
With Thing on his head, rubbing his temples.
Wish I had a thing right about now.
A thing through which you can tinkle, or play with, or simply let hang.
You get your Joey reference in.
Yep.
Freudian.
Did it. And with the Tombstone pizza ad practically screaming from the billboard across the street, the kids set up a lemonade stand, which isn't just another reference to the cartoons, although it is, but also this sets up my favorite punchline in this entire movie, because the liquid is smoking and obviously laced with not just generic poison, but also cyanide, arsenic, acid nitrate, and carbolic acid, all of which makes Lurch belch a fireball after he takes a sip. But along comes a Girl Scout who wants to know if the lemonade is made from real lemons.
I'll buy a cup if you buy a box of my delicious Girl Scout cookies.
Prompting Wednesday to ask,
are they made from real Girl Scouts?
And I think that's some
it's a good one.
Expertly crafted dark humor. I think that is peak comedy.
Yeah.
And
no.
If that's where comedy ended, I'd be happy. Like if that was it.
You were satisfied.
That's the final say of all things funny. Like that's it for me. It's the funniest thing.
I'm really glad we have it recorded here in the annals of time and pretty darkness.
Morticia gets a job reading fairy tales to children, but she switches the Hansel and Gretel story around to make the witch sound like the victim.
Hansel pushed the poor, defenseless witch into the oven instead, where she was burned alive, writhing in agony. Now, boys and girls, what do you think that feels like?
But how they got all those kids to cry on camera is just like a total mystery to me. How do you do that and not get sued?
I'm sure there was a trick.
Thing gets a job as an office courier for FedEx, while Gomez sits at home, depressed, watching daytime television, aka Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Very cute.
Very cute.
He surfs the channels until he finds a daytime talk show about the existence of voodoo witch doctors.
Let's take a call.
Hello, Sally.
Mr. Addams, please stop calling. We do not know where they meet. Let's take another call.
Amazing.
And he also can't leave the motel room because he can't miss Gilligan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I figured you could relate to.
Never want to miss Gilligan.
But seeing what's become of her family, Morticia returns to the house and demands to speak with Fester. Tully and Miss Craven tie her to a rack, which is in reference to the 1960s TV show, where they keep a rack in the playroom for fun and relaxation.
Tighter.
But even now, they think they're torturing her, but she's really just enjoying it.
You've done this before.
But luckily, Morticia was followed by Thing, who rushes back to rouse Gomez and tell him what's happening. And he speaks in sign language.
Slow down! It's terrible when you stutter!
That's some funny shit right there.
Hey guys, Christian thinks that's funny.
I think that's really funny. I'm not gonna lie.
He said before we got on the air that he felt like we both feel like often when we do a movie night, we just, we're giving you scene by scene sequence, and this was funny, and we think this was funny,
and this was fun, and this was cool.
But you guys like it, right?
That thing they said was like,
you like it?
It's like nice. Miss Craven is like evil though.
Yeah.
Like she tries to get Fester to torture Morticia with red hot pokers. Again, none of them would enjoy that, even though Morticia would. But like she's trying to make Fester do it because she can see the bond between Fester and Morticia.
Yeah, and it's trying to break that bond.
That's not nice at all.
Psychologically awful.
What a bad lady. I don't like her.
I don't either.
Dirty pool, old man. Never again.
But Gomez arrives just in time to fight Tully, who tries explaining that he's had to do these things for Fester because he's on retainer. In other words, he was just following orders. Let it be known that just following orders didn't fly at the Nuremberg trials. It didn't fly with Gomez Addams, and it won't fly with any of us in the days to come. Again, not getting political.
We've always got to get a little political.
Not gonna go there.
Everything is inherently a little bit political.
More and more every day. But see, Miss Craven brought a gun to a sword fight, which I would call bad pool, and she forces Gomez to take Fester to the vaults, threatening to kill Morticia if they don't return within the hour. And when Fester hesitates again, Miss Craven makes the mistake of laying into him with one insult after another, calling him a useless, sniveling baby and a stone around her neck. He disgusts her, and she should have left him where she found him.
Harsh. We've seen a lot of these types of relationships across our coverage, but it doesn't make it any less chilling.
Gomez goes to pull Greed from the shelf in defeat, but Fester snaps into action.
No tricks, Gomez. That's the wrong book.
So Fester pulls a book on Hurricane Irene. There wasn't an actual Hurricane Irene until 2011, but...
Yeah, I was going to say that was more recent, was it not?
Nevertheless, Fester taunts Tully and Miss Craven with the book while Gomez frees Morticia from their BDSM fantasy.
Leather straps, red hot pokers.
Later, my dearest.
Tully and Miss Craven try to talk Gordon out of it, but even Tully winces at her telling Gordon to be a man. And I'm surprised this didn't just break him. I guess he's been gaining enough agency recently that he's able to use it as strength instead of a, weakness. But he finally stands up to her.
He's finding the anger, he's finding that within himself.
Ooh, it's within all of us.
Because of that contrast, because of what he's learned.
You were a terrible mother. There! I said it!
Before opening the book to unleash the cycle. And it's too bad the effects were all CGI, unlike the practical effects of Jumanji. But as we learned in part 1, money was already tight before the budget grew another $5 million. I just think it would have been great to see like a tidal wave of some sort, just like flooding the library and
when
pushing them out of the house.
When is a tidal wave not practical?
Yeah, right? Tell me about it.
Just flood it.
Flood that sucker. So they're flung from the house and into the cemetery where they land in 2 open coffins prepared by the children, who stand by with shovels in hand.
Are they dead? Does it matter?
I liked that too.
And we can ostensibly infer that these 2 children proceeded to bury them alive.
Not just any children.
Addams children.
Addams children.
They're of a different breed. And as the hurricane dies down, Fester is struck by lightning from the book, which is what brings his memory back. But it also gives him the electrical abilities he's been known for since the 1960s TV show, where he could turn on a light bulb by sticking it in his mouth, and he claimed to possess 110 volts of power.
Real zappy.
And now it's evolved into him shooting electricity from his fingertips, and
hey, when you got it, you got it.
Pugsley also has that power. It's like, come on. These lightning fingers, you know what I'm saying?
The charm is electric.
He was a charmer. And 7 months later, it's Halloween.
Poor Lurch. The trick-or-treaters are so scared of him.
He just rolls his eyes.
You rang.
Pugsley dresses up like Fester. Wednesday is dressed like herself, a.k.a. a homicidal
maniac. Because they look just like everybody else.
It's true.
Solid.
Cousin It dresses like an outlaw, and Margaret is dressed like a fairy princess. And I love that for them. I'm glad they found each other.
There's a lid for every pot, and an it for every Margaret.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Thanks. I worked really hard on it.
And while Lurch paints a portrait of Fester and Pugsley in Fester costume, the family explains the mystery of Fester's amnesia to Cousin It and to everybody else watching the movie who didn't quite understand what was happening.
You remember, old man? Dr. Pinderschloss really did find Fester tangled in a tuna net 25 years ago. With amnesia.
From the Bermuda Triangle.
What a coincidence that Miss Craven should live in the same town as them and have dealings with their lawyer. It really is a small world after all, isn't it?
A world of laughter, a world of tears.
I just don't understand, because she didn't seem to really know the Addams family.
There was some
So it's just odd
convenient,
they happen to all live in the same place. It's just kind of...
Again, wouldn't be a movie without it.
Yeah.
You need some shenanigans, tomfoolery, coincidence.
They could have made her a little bit more knowing.
I agree.
They could have made her seek out Tully as the Addams lawyer and force herself to get wrapped up in this, but, what are you going to do?
Wasn't the focus. They were too busy.
I guess not.
Making Gomez and Morticia be hopelessly in love with each other for an hour and 40 minutes.
They did have a lot of rewrites, so maybe something got lost and they just kind of had to quickly patch it up at the end to kind of go, oh, yeah, the whole point of the movie. Yeah.
Bring it back around. Yeah.
We should figure that out. Let's tie up all these loose ends.
All right, everybody. Time for a game.
Looking for a game to play, Cousin It suggests that they play Wake the Dead.
Of course. Wake the Dead.
Wake the dead! Wake the dead!
And so they all head out to the cemetery to dig up their deceased family members and try their best to wake them on Halloween night.
It's like Dia de los Muertos, but different.
Different, yeah. That's a good word for it. But I still think, just like a seance, this is fun for the whole family. It's just something everybody can get into.
Yeah.
You dig up your favorite ancestor, your favorite pet, maybe.
Bring a picnic blanket.
Yep. Nothing wrong with having a picnic in a cemetery. I've done it. Though I should go on record and say I've never dug up a body.
I wanted you to clear that up.
I probably should do that.
Should go on record. Not, you shouldn't do the digging.
Oh, I should probably go on record about not doing it. Right,
okay.
right. No.
Just
I definitely shouldn't.
Let's not mince words about this.
Well, all right. Let me call Luke and tell him it's off. We'll hang out later.
You'll hang out somewhere else.
And like I said up top, this film is bookended by references to the original works of Charles Addams. So standing in the doorway of their home, Morticia holds up her knitting to indicate that she is pregnant. But just like the cartoons, the baby clothes have more than 2 legs. And this idea came from Addams's infatuation with Francis Lentini, an Italian-American man who was born with what they call a parasitic twin, or an unequal conjoined twin, resulting in him having 3 legs. And he toured as a sideshow performer and lived until the age of 77, which I feel like is rare for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, that is the Addams Family.
Wow. I'm surprised we didn't talk more about how horny Gomez and Morticia are.
I mean, we did talk about how they had sex in front of like the entire crowd at the auction.
You bewitched
so
me.
I think that's pretty horny.
How long has it been since we've waltzed? Hours.
Hours. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that got me.
There's so many things I like,
There's only room for so much.
We could have sat here and quoted the entire movie,
there's
but
there's no
who's
time.
going to listen to that? There's no time for that.
No time.
But what there is time for is the release details.
Please.
This movie released on November 22nd, 1991, to mixed reviews, but it performed well enough at the box office that Paramount greenlit its 1993 sequel, Addams Family Values, which we've talked briefly about on the show before when we did our Zeke the Plumber and other summer camp scaries, because they go to camp.
When I think of the Addams Family, that's the scene that comes to mind, is Wednesday on the Dock.
And it also features Pubert, their son, who was consequently the original name of Pugsley before the TV show people were like, that sounds too much like puberty. Can we not do that?
Well, that's the point, though.
It is the point. Another animated series was aired on ABC from September 12th, 1992 to November 6th, 1993. And the Addams Family pinball machine was also released in 1992, selling over 2,000 units, making it the highest-selling pinball machine of all time.
I have the same birth year as the highest-selling pinball machine of all time.
That's exciting, no?
How cool is that?
And the guy who produced the TV show, David Levy, sued the filmmakers for using Thing and Cousin It. Because remember, he invented those characters.
Wow.
But I disagree with his logic. Because 1, they owned the film rights, and 2, regardless of the point, Addams had introduced those characters in his cartoons before the show came out. So technically, they originated with the cartoons, not the TV show. But in any case.
I'm all for artists owning their work and people owning their intellectual property, but it seems like an uphill battle on that one.
And some people say they couldn't do a third film because the second didn't do well enough, but other people have said that they actually had a script in the works, but that project was scrapped when Raul Julia passed away in 94.
Wow.
They just said, we can't do it without him, so we're not gonna.
I respect that.
Yeah.
They knew when to quit.
But that didn't stop Saban Entertainment from producing the Addams Family reunion in 1998. Starring Tim Curry as Gomez.
I think of that one too. I've never seen it in full, but I've seen that one on TV in passing.
I've seen it on TV.
A lot.
Pieces, yeah. And this essentially acted as the pilot for the new Addams Family TV series, which ran from October 1998 to August of 99, and featured another entirely new cast, which I thought was odd. And this aired on Fox Family, naturally, and mostly just remade episodes from the original series, but with like contemporary jokes and references. Then in 2010, Universal announced that they'd acquired the rights to the Addams Family cartoons, and they were planning to make a stop-motion animated feature film because they wanted to bring the drawings to life in a brand new way. and they brought on Tim Burton to direct, but for one reason or another, the film was canceled in July of 2013.
I bet that haunts you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It does, yes. But oddly enough, on Halloween of that same year, MGM announced that they would be producing their own computer animated film, which is the one that came out in 2019. Allegedly, Jenna Ortega auditioned to voice Wednesday in this movie, but they went with somebody else. So I really love that when Tim Burton finally got his Addams Family revenge with the Wednesday TV series, he readily cast Jenna.
That's amazing.
Who has since proven that she was made for this role.
Made for it. I mean, spectacular.
There's no one better.
No one. That casting is...
Except for maybe Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci, followed by...
It's a different time.
Jenna Ortega.
And Wednesday of the early 2020s is obviously the most successful Addams Family adaptation since the early 90s, which was the most successful since the early 60s. So the Addams Family
30-year cycle
has known the 30-year cycle very well. It's been around for 90 years, always changing and adapting to the culture that revives it. And with the way things are going for it, it'll probably be around for another 90. And while I know that the next best adaptation is just around the corner, whatever it may look like, I only hope it doesn't take another 30 years to get here. And that is my piece. That's my say.
Wow.
That's all I've got on the Addams Family for now, until maybe one day we cover Addams Family values.
Yeah, right.
We'll see if we ever do it. We haven't done any sequels yet.
We got to get there. It is wild to think that it has been around for that long. And like you said, it's adapting to culture, because the one thing that remains true throughout culture, pop culture, however we're looking at life, memento mori.
Memento mori.
You know, there's always that like morbid element to...
It's always there.
To our lives. It doesn't go away. And so neither do the Addams.
I hope it never does, and I hope they never do.
Because if we can't hold it up and look at it and laugh at it, then how are we supposed to cope with it?
That's the only way to do it. Through story and jokes. That's how we deal with death. That's how we grapple with our own mortality.
That's how we deal with everything.
That's what we do.
If you're us.
Wow, and that's why we have this podcast. Full circle. Amazing
Speaking
job.
of us and this podcast, if you want more
and doing
of us,
an amazing job.
You can find us on social media at That's Pretty Dark Podcast, at That's Pretty Dark on TikTok. You can send us an email at that'sprettydarkpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, you can.
Please let us know, again, your Halloween plans, Halloween costumes. We're trying to get these episodes into your ears ASAP. Hopefully you will have all of them before Halloween. We're thinking that's possible, but we want to hear about your plans or what you did do. That's an evergreen topic around these parts. That doesn't change.
Never changes. Yeah, we're obviously behind. We're late, but we are going to get these all out before Halloween. I am determined to do it. And because we've been so behind, it's not for a lack of trying. I've been working my ass off. That's why there are no ghost stories on the Patreon like I have been trying to do.
4-episode Octobers are always tougher than we think they're going to be.
And we never plan appropriately. We're always like, we'll just do that and it'll be easy.
Yeah,
no,
it'll be easy. It's like, we get amnesia every time.
Yes, we always travel to the Bermuda Triangle, and we always forget.
So all that to say, if you want to give us your money, you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/TPD podcast.
That's right.
Because clearly we've earned it.
That's right.
In all of our chaotic delays. But in all seriousness, we do appreciate all of you that share with us that way.
We're just in our 90s villain era, and we need the money. We're desperate for it. And if you don't give it to us, we're just going to come take it.
Whoa.
So, like, if you live in a massive haunted mansion of sorts, we're going to come sneak into your vault and take your doubloons.
Okay, well, I'll allow that threat.
So protect your doubloons. Give us $5 a month.
How many doubloon owners are really out there listening?
Apparently they're not worth that much.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Which is sad because they're gold and they're antiquated, but you'd still think they would have a greater value than
they do.
They're like a very, very small percentage of the US dollar.
Kind of a bummer.
Yeah. That sucks. That's a terrible way to end this episode. But that's how we're going to do it.
What a way to go out. Aren't you disappointed in the doubloon?
I'm just going to go slip into a very profound Gomez depression, take a hot shower, eat some dinner, and get some sleep. So I hope you all are doing the same.
That sounds like a plan.
I'm going to watch some freaking Halloween movies this weekend.
Me too, but it's going to be just one singular Halloween movie a bunch of times.
I'm also going to watch Halloween Town. Yes, I'm going to do that too.
Halloween Town, Dear Darklings, is our final October extravaganza episode. Prepare yourselves.
Get ready.
And we'll see you then.
We sure will. That's Pretty Dark Podcast is produced by Kaylin Andrews and me, Christian Baxter Mott.
With music by Jonathan Simmons and cover design by Halftone Horror.
You can support our show by supporting our sponsors, or go to patreon.com/TPD podcast to unlock all the Pretty Dark bonus content we have in store.
Please share your experiences and let us know what shows, films, or villains still haunt you from childhood on our socials or at that'sprettydarkpodcast@gmail.com.
For all other information, visit our website, that'sprettydark.com.
Remember, you're never really alone.
So, until next time, sweet dreams, everyone.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey Darklings, Kaylin here. We know our generation has a surplus of pretty darkness in common, and if there's one thing unpacking our upbringing has taught us, it's just how essential therapy is for shining a flashlight on the darkness in our own lives. I don't know where I'd be without mine. I believe every human can benefit from the perspective of a licensed therapist. Whether you're familiar with your own inner workings or you're just looking for a listening ear, you can give BetterHelp online therapy a try by going to betterhelp.com/prettydark and receive 10% off your first month. I get that online therapy can be tricky, but I've been seeing my therapist online since 2020, and I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely worth it. Getting started is always the hardest part, and BetterHelp makes that easy. You can begin right from your phone or computer in whatever way makes you most comfortable, via good old-fashioned phone calls, video chats, or even messaging, if that's more your style. We enjoy this frightful nostalgia and learning about how it all connects, but Darklings know we're also passionate about healing and growing from what we learn. If you dare to do the same, head to betterhelp.com/prettydark. There you can answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping people like us. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time, so you're sure to find the right connection. Millennials are ditching the stigma and owning our mental health. And with BetterHelp, you can build a relationship with a professional all from the comfort of your own home, just how we like it. Visit betterhelp.com/prettydark or choose That's Pretty Dark Podcast during sign up and enjoy 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/prettydark.